I'm Sam, I run Snod Writing Photography and we're here based in Long Eaton. The good points about being a photographer is that every day is really varied. I get to take photographs every day, or pretty much every day, which is my passion. I love taking photographs and I love meeting new people. And I get to see loads and loads of really beautiful locations for weddings, and for example Kedleston Hall, Worsley Hall, Makeley Hall, Wollaston Hall, lots of halls. So it's quite nice for the beautiful locations, especially when it's sunny. The bad points, really, all I could say is that it's very seasonal. During the winter, January to March time, it's very, very quiet, so you really do have to work your socks off in the summer to actually be able to survive the winter. To be honest, the best part about my day generally is I love weddings and I love doing the wedding photography, and I just love it when my clients have seen their photographs, they've picked them, I've designed their album and they come in, or I go to them and I give them their finished album. That really does brighten up my day.
Some of the misconceptions that people might have about photography, if there are any?
I think a lot of people think that wedding photographers get paid too much for what they do, which obviously I don't agree with. Really, I think there's an awful lot of things hidden behind the scenes that people don't understand or realise. With wedding photography, for instance, it's not just a day, it really is a full week to 2 weeks work regarding, well, depending on how long the wedding was, how long you photographed there for. So if I photographed at a wedding for 15-16 hours, taken in excess of 2,000 photographs, all of those photographs need sorting, they need editing, they need post-production work, then they need uploading to the website. After that's done, then once the clients have chosen their photographs from the website for their album, then you have to design the album, which can take a long time to get exactly how your client would like it. So there is an awful lot of work that's involved, and I think sometimes people don't realise.
Is there a lot of prepping beforehand? Like if you were doing a wedding, do you talk through with the bride and the groom how much of the wedding you're going to be filming, or which sections do they want you to focus on? Is it all dependent on a budget, or how does it work?
Well, before every wedding there is an awful lot of preparation beforehand. Obviously I would have met with the clients 1 or 2, 3, 4 times before the wedding. Obviously they'll come in to have a look at my work beforehand for a consultation, and then they'll decide whether or not they'd like to book me. If they do decide to book me, then we have a couple of meets just in the between times, just to discuss the details of the day. Then before the wedding day, I'll go to the venue, whether it be at a church and then to another venue, or if it's all at one place. We'll go up there and we'll meet there, and we'll go through any group shots they'd like. We'll go through the different locations, where they'd like the photographs taken, what they'd like photographing, if there's anybody in particular that they really do want on a photograph or don't want on a photograph. So it's really important that I know exactly what's happening on the day, and I always do a full itinerary for each and every wedding. So there is quite a lot of preparation beforehand.
Okay, if a young person was leaving school and they was thinking, oh, I really want to be a photographer, what should they do? How do they go about getting into this industry?
I think really to get into being a photographer, the best thing to do is go to college, whether it be if you started doing GCSE photography, A-level, BTEC or HND. I would certainly end up on a HND or degree. And then really just kind of take as many photographs as you can all the time, just constantly be out with the camera, get as much experience as you possibly can. Maybe volunteer at your local studio, even if it's for free, just one afternoon a week. If you have that experience, that adds up to a lot after you finish your college course, and then it's easier to actually find a job in the industry.
And are you approached by young people, and if so, what inspires you to maybe give someone a chance, or say, oh, come and do a day's work experience with me, something like that? What would you be looking for?
If I was looking for someone to come in and help, generally I'd be looking for experience, kind of just show me some photographs that they've taken and seeing what their potential is. their dedication really. So if somebody was to offer to come in for one day just out of the blue, I wouldn't really be interested in that. But if they wanted to come in every week, say, that's something that would interest me, because it shows that they're willing and they're determined, and that they really want to do it.
And is it important to have a portfolio?
I think it's really important to have a portfolio. Obviously, in the early stages, if you're just looking at starting A-level photography or BTEC photography, then a portfolio isn't entirely necessary at that stage. But I would always be thinking, and always kind of think about what you want to do in the future, and taking photographs that could potentially help you get there.
And how did you decide on what area of photography to go into? Is that something that they should be focusing on as well? Because there's lots of different areas, isn't there, in photography?
Yeah, there are lots of different areas in photography, and really I think it kind of, you've got to find something that you're interested in. So, I mean, there is huge amounts of different things that you can do. When I first started, I actually wanted to do band photography. I wanted to work for NME. But as I kind of found out that actually, as well as having to go and see lots of really rubbish bands that you don't like, my forte is people, and I get on with people really very well. And I am a big romantic at heart, so I love weddings.
So you found your niche then, didn't you?
Yes.
So I suppose it's finding that then, isn't it, within photography. Can you talk me through your career path then, and what led you to where you are today?
Okay.
And why you set up your own business? Why aren't you working for someone else?
I was always kind of quite interested in photography. I got my first SLR camera when I was around about 14, 15. And I used to just play about with shutter speeds and things like that. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just liked to play around and take photographs with my friends. Then I decided that I realised that you could actually do photography as a qualification, and that was the first time I realised. And I did A-level photography, and then I went on to do a HND in photography and digital imaging at South Notts College in Clifton. Whilst I was there, I took lots of photographs for friends and family and that kind of thing. I photographed a wedding at the age of 17. That was my first wedding. Wouldn't recommend it if you haven't got any experience after my first experience, but obviously once you qualified, everything changes. And really, yeah, I assisted a couple of photographers, a couple of wedding photographers. And then after I finished my college course and graduated, I was looking for a job, but everywhere required experience, and it's something that I didn't have masses of, so decided that I could do it. I had a lot of self-belief and self-confidence, so decided that I was going to start up my own studio. So that's what I did.
Because some people might find the camera quite scary, you know, it's got all these different buttons, and, you know, if you go outside there's different lightings and different apertures and all these other things that you need to be aware of. Should someone sort of learn as much as they can before they go out with the camera, or just go for it and just soak up and make the mistakes and learn along the way? I
think with digital photography now you can just keep on using your camera as much as you can, because it doesn't cost you anything, because it's digital. You're not wasting film and wasting lots of money, and you can, I think the beauty with digital is that you can just keep on trial and error until you get it correct, and then you know what to do for the next time. So really, I would say that you can't really break your camera, so, you know, by pressing too many buttons, so just go for it really. But take your manual with you, just read it through that if you get really stuck.
Different areas of photography that you can get into. Can you list the different areas of work that you could, not all of them, but I know there's fashion styling, like you could work for a magazine. Could you just list a few that people could think, oh, I didn't know you could do that?
If you decide that you wanted to get into photography, you really aren't limited on the areas of photography that you can actually get into. There are lots of different things. Obviously there's wedding and portrait photography, it's photojournalism, fashion photography, you could do food photography, any kind of commercial photography. The list is endless really.